are live, everybody. Whoop, whoop.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Yay.
hello. And hopefully there is sound from all directions or, proper directions from
Ooh.
everybody involved.
Wait, are we now in eight dimensions or something?
Yes,
That you
we are in
hear it
8 dimensions.
like the headphones where you hear the music around you?
Yes.
8D or something? I don't know. Whatever. Hey, hello, everybody. Good to
Hello.
be back. I think we missed a week last week, right?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
so.
so
Yeah.
too.
So yeah, it's good to be back, and I hope everybody is doing well. We're still missing our beloved friend who plays Boomer. He has stuff that needs to be fixed in his house. So I'm thinking he pretty much can't get into his room where he usually streams. So yeah,
Yeah.
Streams, right? I thought you said
Yeah.
screams.
streams. No, stream. Yeah,
yeah,
he
he
might
probably,
also stream
yeah,
there. He doesn't stream all day, so yeah, who
yeah,
knows?
yeah. Just as soon as the call ends, just
Yeah, he's like, "Ah, what the fuck?"
yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds all right.
So yeah, he's sadly not able to join us right now. Let's hope he is available next week. And but we wanted to continue our story onwards. So seeing as I'm such a talented and creative DM, I'm going to find an amazing way to just have him like kind of diverge from the main story for hopefully just one turn of one episode and be back the next one. So before we start, does anybody have anything to say, to share, to I don't know how is your Curse of Strahd thing going, Brains?
Mine?
Yeah,
Oh no,
you had a game where you played Curse of Strahd, right? Yeah.
I did, but we had issues with players swapping in and out, and it just sort of crawled to a halt. It's very sad.
Oh,
Very sad.
Dang it. So if anybody's out there wants to play Curse of Strahd,
totally go
oh,
bother him until he picks it up again.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Join the Discord and see him, find him, and just spam him.
Yeah, don't give
What
up.
is
He'll
this
give in.
Curse of the Strad thing
Yeah.
that I keep hearing? It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It is a very good campaign. It is really good. Although actually, there is a thing called the UK Games Expo.
What? What's
The-
this?
What's
It's
this?
the UK Games Expo. That's what it is. It's
Okay.
an expo of games, but obviously with current situations, they can't run. It's not going or it's not starting until August, around the 20th, I think. But they're running it virtually, and they're having virtual games, virtual tabletop games, virtual cosplay things, all that. They're all running it virtual, and there's a website. I will put it in the Discord, for anyone. And I will be running a 4-part Cyberpunk Red campaign at it, for anyone who wants to jump on. You have to pay for it. It is not going to me. It's going to the UK Games Expo. They have like I think it's a couple of pound. It's not expensive. I'm assuming they're just trying to keep themselves with some money so that next year, whenever they can actually run it physically, they've got some money to do that. The games are paid for.
Wait, can I
think the rest of
just
stuff
pause you for a quick moment because I
Yes.
think there is no audio on the
Is
stream.
there
At
no
least
audio?
Oh no, there
I-
is audio. Just someone else check it for me, just in case.
Oh,
it's
okay.
just
Yeah,
me.
I was on it. I heard audio. Let me just.
Oh,
double check.
sorry, because I have it now open, but I don't hear any audio. But
You have it muted.
no, I don't.
Because
But it might be because I'm hearing the audio from our current thing.
Yeah, no, just checked it. Yeah, we have got audio.
We have audio.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
It's
awesome.
not
Sorry.
broken up
False
for you or
alarm.
anything. No, yeah.
false
No,
alarm.
sounds fine.
That's
Sounds fine.
False alarm. Okay, please
Yeah.
continue.
So yes, yeah, you have to pay for it. Now, like I say, it's not going to me. I'm not charging for it. I just think I've seen their stuff, and the expos that they run are really, really good. This is not sponsored by them, actually. I don't know whether we need to say that or I don't know, but it's just something that I'm doing. It is in August, and some people on the internet may be aware. I am expecting a child around that time, so there could be the possibility that I may not be running the game. if I either have a small child or a small child decides to spawn the day the day of the that is a horrific image, Rokia.
You're welcome.
Thanks. But all being well, I'll be running Cyberpunk Red, and it'll just be a sort of continuation over 4 sessions of 4 hours. So one on the Friday evening, 2 separate ones on Saturday, and then one finishing it off on the Sunday. You don't need to be in all of them. You can jump in at any, but things that happened in the previous one will affect the subsequent sessions.
Super sweet.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Cyberpunk videos are by far the most popular videos that have been watched on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whoever
Uh,
watches this and is interested, maybe you should also do a little like this on the Twitter account.
Yeah, sure. If I was good at Twitter, that would be a smart thing to do.
Just tweet it out, man. Just
Yeah,
tweet it out.
tweet it out. Tweet it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get good by doing, not by not doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Jonas.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? All right. So let's just dive right in. And I think you guys all had a meeting with this this lovely frost giant who gave you all gifts. Have everybody more or less adjusted their stuff?
I probably
Oh.
haven't, because I was going to ask you about that, but I forgot.
I didn't add my luggage in.
You didn't add your luggage in.
How could I not add my luggage?
Oh yeah.
So I got some mysterious healing powers. I do not know what to do.
Yes, you do. Have you? No, we haven't talked about it. Why haven't
No,
we
we
talked about it?
Because life, and I've been grading, because I'm a teacher, so I've been grading hell and been
There
breathing
you
grading
go. There you go.
and not
It's-
knowing what happens without grading.
How wonderful are we that we put the grades of others before our own role-playing games?
You know, that's kind of terrible.
That we do that, or what?
Yes, we should prioritize our own role-playing game.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Now,
Yeah.
Ellie,
Yes.
when you wake up this next morning,
Yes.
if you were a wizard, I would completely be like, "Oh, you have this and this and this, and you are aware of it." But the thing is, Ellie is usually not very aware of the magic that she has.
No.
But seeing as you are a player behind the steering wheel,
Yes.
I'll inform you about what's going to happen.
Yes.
I have been looking into giving you something or adding something to your inventory, of doing in some way that I could make this possible in D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
But so far, I haven't found a way. But
Okay.
once I do, I'll definitely like put on my building suit and just rearrange your character sheet and stuff. The thing that you have been given is
Taking
the
notes.
fact that you are able to cast Cure Wounds.
Ooh. Cure wounds.
Yes.
Mm.
That's not all. You have been given 1 extra spell level on first. You have 1 spell slot, sorry. 1 extra spell slot on first level, which is can only be used to cast Cure Wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah? One final thing. Once a day, if you cast it and you use that dedicated slot,
Yeah.
you and somebody is out cold, you cast it at maximum hit points that the person returns.
Okay, but so wait, what?
You can use any spell slot you have right now to cast it,
Yeah, but if
but
I
you have 1 spell slot extra,
yeah,
which is dedicated to cure wounds.
yes.
And you can use it just to cure people, but if they're unconscious and you then cast it using that spell slot,
Okay, yeah.
the person will get the maximum hit points that that spell slot would heal.
Okay.
Interesting.
I don't think we can even do that on D&D Beyond.
there are probably ways, but I've been looking in building like sort of like a magical item
Yeah.
that I would kind of give you that would add these things
Yeah.
to your character sheet
Like a
that you wouldn't really
charge.
have, but it
Yeah.
would just be
Yeah,
something that you
that's what I was
carry
thinking.
inside you.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to get it in the way I want.
Like a charged wand, only one charge.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, there's a lot of if this then that, blah blah
Mm.
blah.
Yeah. Okay, a sticky will have to do for now.
There
Got
you
a
go.
sticky.
There we go. That's the beauty of pen and paper. You
Yeah.
can just go like, huh, I have no limits. I can just write this down.
I've been saying that this
I
whole
don't-
time. You and your digital bullshit.
I don't need a battery. Look at this. It just works always.
Yes, yes, yes.
We're
Really.
talking your language,
Wait,
man.
hang on. It
Hell
was a
yeah.
full hit die of the cure wounds, right? That got restored.
Sorry?
Not the. If I used this when someone was knocked out cold,
Yeah.
and I used the spell slot, it restored the maximum hit die of the spell. Or
Yeah. So it would be, I think, 1d8 plus 1 or something. Or I'm not sure how much a cure wounds on level 1 heals, but I think it's 1d8. So you would probably give somebody like 8-9 hit points or something. But
Yeah.
instead of rolling the dice, you would get the maximum dice roll out of that first level spell.
It would be like a crit heal,
No, because I think a crit
Well,
heal would be double the
not
dice.
double dice, but you know.
Yeah.
Maximum.
Speaking of this digital bullshit, the gauntlet and the tiara, is there a thing for them in D&D Beyond, or will it just write them down?
I actually wanted to build those as well, but
Oh.
I've been so
Okay.
busy with Ellie that I haven't built them yet.
Oh, favoritism. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
While we're on the same subject,
Oh, for fuck's sake!
was there supposed to be something for the adamantium scimitars?
They're just made out of adamantium, and I think that means that they do double damage against a non-living thing, like stone and wood and stuff like that.
Right. I'll have
And
to
they're
go back
just,
and
like,
look what
Pretty much
Shin said
unable
about
to be
them, so-
destroyed or something, but it's in the book. You can look it up if you
Mhm.
do the adamantium stuff, then you'll find it.
No problem.
So some good or some good news then, since Ellie is such a strong and very charming person, it's a DA +4 because +4 is her spellcasting modifier.
Mm.
Oh, really? Oh, well, then forget about that.
Aw! But she cares so much about her friends.
No, I'm kidding.
So that's pretty cool.
So that's a wisdom casting thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It's +2 then.
All right. So, you guys wake up, pretty much making ready to get going and to set out. It's been arranged that one of the giants would bring you as far as he could and leave you guys there. And so as you guys are dressed and ready to go, you're missing Boomer, and you're kind of looking around and inform a bit from where he is. And somebody that's been up probably a bit longer than you guys says, like, yeah, I've seen him. He met up with this giant and left. So you're a bit like, what the heck? What do you mean left? And as you kind of meet up with the giant that's supposed to bring you onwards, this giant informs you that Boomer has left earlier, and that he is together with another giant bringing his donkey to somebody who he knows that would take good care of the donkey, and he will meet up with you guys later.
There's no proof.
You lie.
Okay, so instead of actually doing the main mission, what we've got a new side quest: find Boomer.
Find Boomer, exactly. Yeah.
And
Forget
He could be
about this
dead
fucking
for all
white
we
dragon.
know,
Let's find Boomer, yeah.
Mm.
And after that, we'll go and find
yeah.
Well, we're still looking for Varin.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we've got find Boomer, find Yeah, this has turned into one small favor for Flipsuit.
Yeah,
And
and
then we
find
have
the
to
white
find
dragon.
Gemini too. So
And then find the Gemini, revive Vince.
It's okay. We don't need to
still not
find.
over it.
We don't need to find Gemini because we know he's at the purple caravan. So we need to find the purple caravan,
Mm,
Cool.
or is he?
or he might be.
mm.
But they will probably have clues.
Right,
Ah.
quick, everyone into my luggage. Let's go.
Luggage.
Question.
Quick question actually: has Wheeler figured out that the luggage can walk?
Nope.
No, not
Is
yet.
it? No.
Oh yeah. Although on the plus side, the thing does say that it weighs nothing to me.
Ah,
The lift, which is handy.
Yeah, but it is weighing something for you.
It weighs a chest weight, I would
Yeah.
say.
No, it says the luggage weighs 0 pounds to its owner, regardless of its contents. To anyone else trying to lift it, it's 150 kilograms.
maybe it's a special luggage.
Oh.
Maybe it is. It could be.
You don't know this shit, and I'm telling you that don't just add something to your list and to go like, oh, wait, actually, it says here that the luggage weighs a normal amount of luggage, but to you.
Fine, I'll change the sheet.
Don't change it. So
Okay.
there you go. So you are walking and like carrying this luggage, and he's kind of looking around like.
Ellie would actually try to give the luggage her backpacks to see if he wants to hold it for her.
Wheeler will be like, hey, what you doing? What you doing?
You
This
kind of
is
hold it in
mine.
front.
Well, she would probably ask first and go like, okay, animal fighting behind next to me. Never mind. I just heard a cat hiss. She would go, Chester.
Yes.
Yes. I was wondering. You really like the whole stuff, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. But you look very
It's
good
not
at.
my biggest ambition.
What's your biggest ambition?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it's fine to not know what you want to do when you grow up, or get older, or exist longer. More? Anyway, but I was wondering because you look like a very handsome chest and all. I was wondering if you
Shucks.
could maybe hold something for me.
I don't see why not.
Could you hold
Sorry,
my
is
backpack?
is Wheeler still holding them at this point?
Yeah, of course you.
Yeah, he'd just be like, yeah, no, get your own. And he'll sort of like pull him away from all of it.
Hey.
Oh, come on.
And Wheeler will sort of go down to the chest, like, Chester, do you really want to hold her stuff? I mean, if you don't want to, it's fine, not a problem, entirely up to you. But I wouldn't.
Oh. No, I don't really want to hold your stuff. No. Carry your own shit.
Good boy. He sort of pats him.
Mage hand slap.
Who do you slap?
Wheeler.
Ooh.
Thanks. Then she's just gonna keep doing whatever they're doing. Holding on to her backpack because Wheeler is a mean brother.
That he is.
Yes, that is.
All right. So you guys meet with this giant who is cold ice. You think like, wow, that's like a really. How old are you? You know, wasn't that name
I've
taken
been
already? Yeah. And he's like, he looks at you guys and he nods and says, "I'm supposed to bring you as far as I can. Get on the sled and we'll head out."
Thank you.
He kind of helps you guys into the sled because it's giant size, of course.
Excellent.
and he starts kind of standing on it and just kind of kicking it, and it goes off.
I'll say in giant. Thank you, Ath baby.
You're welcome, sir. Well, you guys are going on this sled. Apparently, notes have been taken or something, or because there's actually where the first time you guys were on this sled, I think it was yesterday. You were freezing after like 10 minutes or so because it's going quite fast. Now, apparently, there are furs that you guys can kind of wrap yourself into.
Yay!
So you've been given an upgrade.
Whew.
And you guys quickly leave the town. And
When we are given the furs, I'll say, this is really nice ice. Baby.
he nods. He says, "Yeah, we heard that people like you sometimes appreciate dead skins."
I hope there's no price ice, baby.
No.
That's nice ice, baby.
I saw what you did there. He pushes onwards, and you guys kind of go partly sledding, partly the leg muscles of this giant who's pushing you forward, and it's nice. It has a certain beauty to it. There's a lot of snow lying here, and you see that the mountain range where the temple was built into is quite large. It covers a considerable track, and the land starts to become quite flat. So you have a nice broad overview of the mountain range.
Barry's taking a lot of mental notes as an artist, kind of like the sky and the landscapes and all that kind of kind of exotic colors for a city dweller and the sort, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
If the ride is smooth enough or not super bumpy, Ellie will probably try to sketch it out as they go past as well, like, quick sketches, snapshots.
Mm-hmm. There are parts where the ride is quite smooth. Other parts not so much. So there will definitely be moments where you could sketch something.
Yeah.
But there are also moments where you are like halfway through your sketch and then it just it's lost. Okay, it's just time. just put it down.
Yeah. Whenever it goes bumpy, she will like, well.
And well, you guys sled for about 5 hours or so.
Damn.
Do you guys have any talk going on?
Oh, without a doubt, most likely, if it's 5 hours and we're in
Yeah.
one sled, there's bound to be at least some small talk or something.
All right. Anything you guys need to share or play out, or is just chit chat?
Most likely, at least, unless something specific that of interest comes up, most likely Barry will just socialize out of the pleasure of socializing. So mostly just chit chat and small talk, and just talking about the landscapes and the kind of exotic surroundings. Because Barry, even though he has, he is the bushmaster, so he has wandered all about nature and come up with inspirations for garments and everything like that from nature. But here, this far north, in like the giant territory and where white dragons roam, it's pretty exotic to him. So
All right.
Ellie would totally talk with him. I don't know if she would ask anything specific or talk about anything specific, but she would partake in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Also, of course, having just gotten this wondrous magical book, he would be very enthralled by it as well. And even though he kind of figured out how it was explained to him how it works, it's still something where he is in awe of it.
Speaking about spell books, Ellie would give the spell book Wheeler gave her in the cave that was found together with the circlet and the bracelet that she couldn't open that was locked to Barry to look at.
Oh, okay. He'll look at them. Of course, our spell slots are back. I'm sure. After
Yeah, you had a long rest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just
Because she did not figure it out. And it didn't want to open.
So it's a spell book and what was it again?
spells and bracelets, something like that.
That it was a spell book. I guess was saying the spell book that was found together with the bracelet and the circlet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cave.
okay, yeah, because the bracelet and the circlet went to
Yeah,
Wheeler, and
exactly.
you had the spell book, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And we never identified the spell book.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I was thinking we never got to do in the cave.
No, we didn't do it in the cave, and Ella didn't figure it out, and then things moved on, and then things happened, basically, as things does. But now
okay.
when they have time to talk, and she know that Barry probably identified other things, it's like, actually, I have this spell book that I can't open. I think it's a spell book, but I can't open it.
Oh, let me have a look, baby. And I'll just grab the book, and since identify could be cast as a ritual, if I remember correctly, we have nothing but time on our hands, so I'll be casting identify on it, and because it's a ritual and it takes more time and concentration, it's not going to be so like magic. I'll be kind of like drawing with my fingers on the item on the cover of the book, kind of weaving with my fingers, making patterns that a tailor might make.
Just for flavor taste, because you guys are in a sled moving about, sometimes it's kind of bumpy and things. I'll have the ritual take a little bit longer than it usually takes 10 minutes for you to cast ritualistically. You have experienced the fact that it's kind of bumpy and stuff and things, and you don't want things to go wrong. So you decide to put some extra time and effort and just take the long ritual form to make sure everything goes right. So it takes you about 20 minutes or so to cast it ritualistically. But like you said, you have nothing but time, so it's fine.
Ellie's gonna study him while he does it.
All right. Okay. Roll your Arcana.
Okay, let's see.
You too, Ellie.
Oh, me too.
Oh my god, that's a natural 1.
A natural 1.
Mine is better because I rolled a 5, so it's 10.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, our magic users. Let's hear it for
Can I roll Arcana? I'm not even proficient on it.
Are you proficient in it?
No.
No, then it's
I was just thinking I might roll higher than them, so
no, but if you're not a proficient in it, Arcana is really
I get the roll, but does the spell basically just, is it a miss because of
No. The spell doesn't require you to roll. It's just you're getting information out of the spell, and I just wanted to see how well you interpret it and how much information you're kind of getting out of it.
Okay, sure.
So you are by the way, Wheeler, are you proficient in Arcana? Oh, I think he's
No, sorry, I was just checking. No, I am not.
Oh, okay. You cast identify item on the book, and you are, as the ritual takes hold, and the book kind of lay bare its function, its cause, its what's a good word for it? Its reason for being. You are bombarded by information, So much so that you have a bit like, whoa, 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 calm down, baby, calm down. And you see like these flashes and things, and in your head, and you become a little bit dizzy, but it's just like for a few seconds. Um, it's a book, clearly, and there is a protective magic around it. Magic preventing the lock from being unlocked by anyone but the user, or anyone that has like proper magical skills that will be able to dispel something like that. Uh, the book itself is not magical. It's just a spell that is defending what is in it.
Okay, so it might be valuable information like some sort of a will or lineage or just a diary or something.
Looking at it, you would probably guess that it contains indeed valuable information, but you would not be surprised if there is at least a spell or two in there that wizards or something could consume and make use of.
Could I make a roll just to identify kind of the cultural significance of the book? Like, does it look like um, a wizard's book, a rich nobleman's book, and in that context, does it look like a diary, or does it look like an official lineage related?
Yeah.
like
Throw your history. Ellie, roll your insight, by the way. And anybody that's paying attention to Barry doing this is also allowed to roll an insight.
I only got 11.
Okay.
I got 6. This
All right.
dice is retired for tonight.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. Wheeler, are you also paying attention, or are you busy with something else?
Oh, he's busy with his box.
Okay, there you go.
He'll be just chatting away.
Okay, Cal, you will have noticed that Barry has kind of finished his spell. Spells are not unfamiliar to you, so you have an idea of when the spell is done, and you will have noticed the fact that you see Barry almost a bit like tilter, a bit like, ooh, oh my goodness, it's a bombardment of information. And he's now very curiously kind of examining the book. Yeah, you and I'll leave it up to you, but his tiltering and stuff as the spell kind of gave free, it kind of reminds you of the moment where you kind of bonded with the bow, where you're like, is something fucked up going on here? But you might not think it, but you could definitely, you kind of get that vibe from it.
Very.
Sorry, Jonas, what did you roll for the history thing again?
11.
11. Okay. So yeah, you're first checking it, but Cal will notice this.
Barry, you're right. You look a bit off kilter. You is that a cursed item or something?
Is it dangerous?
No, baby. It's just fine. It's just this book. About to get a headache, baby. This book, the book itself ain't magical. The book contains something somebody cast a spell to keep closed. It's possible it contains some magical formulae or some such, but it's not a cursed book. But I can't figure it out. The lock itself seems to be either bonded to the person who locked it, or it's openable by whomever knows the correct spell to open it. But beyond that, I can't tell too much about it. The contents of this book, however, looking at it, I can't make heads or tails of it, baby. It could be something having to do with something very important or of either societal or personal variety. Maybe it's a diary, maybe it's a family lineage, something to do with a wheel, a wizard's notebook without functioning spells, or
It
who
could
knows?
be something to do. It was found with the other items that Wheeler had. It could be significant to them.
Did
Remember the
the
items that you identified the last time, which were a connecting pair,
yeah, that's right,
and
baby.
then you required some sort of spell word or something. You were saying.
Hmm.
You never know; it might be in that book.
Yeah, it's possible. Um, I don't know if it requires any more than just the rudimentary spell for opening magical locks. Sadly, I do not hold the knowledge to pull something like that off, baby.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't. I wouldn't think it would be so far fetched for us to come across somebody who could. It doesn't look very how do you say doesn't look very well. My tongue is failing me right now, but but it doesn't look like something you would need like an ancient artifact to open this shit up.
Hmm.
You know?
So we need a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not anything I can do anyway.
Ellie's gonna take the book back and like stare at it and try to like channel some magic into it to try to open it. I'm expecting she gets absolutely nothing,
Hmm?
but it's gonna be like, nope, can't do it yet.
Ellie, did you try Open Sesame? That usually works.
But why?
Don't know. It's a common password I hear.
Well, that sounds weird. Open sesame? No, wait. I should probably tell it. I should
Oh, I
probably
was so
speak with
tempted.
more
I was
confidence. Open sesame.
With a bit more oomph, yeah.
Open sesame.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
So,
something.
so if Wheeler can hear any of this, he's just going to turn around and be like, no, you have to be standing on one leg, and I hold it in your right hand. Isn't that right, Luggage? Or Chester?
What did you call me?
Chester, clearly. It's just
Oh,
Chester.
there you go.
He
yeah.
said luggage.
Yeah,
Clearly.
definitely one leg. Definitely one leg.
Yeah. And the other hand, like, outstretched like that, and then sort of shout out Open Sesame, the book.
And you need to keep your tongue out of your mouth at all time.
Yeah. I love this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Listen to him. Listen to him. He opens. That's his whole thing. He knows about opening.
Yeah, opening is my thing.
Yeah. See, look, open. Gets him to open his mouth. See?
Ah.
See? He's amazing at it.
Excuse me, y'all. You have any recollection on the circumstances when you discovered this book, as well as the bracelets? You have any recollection on the actual remains of the previous owner? Did it have any signs of a high stature in society, or something magical in nature, like I don't know, maybe being a gnome, elf, anything like that has magic innately?
I don't know. Why don't you ask the cake crawler?
Yeah.
So-
Wheeler.
Yeah, that's Wheeler, cake crawler.
Well, hey there, wheeler, dealer, kiss dealer.
Wheel crawler.
I prefer his names.
So you're the one who discovered all these beautiful items.
He's sort of like, so he's wearing the bracelet and the bloody tiara and all that at the minute. So he just sort of like, you're like wiggles so that they all jingle. He's like, maybe.
Oh, that's beautiful, baby. But having been the one that found these, the circumstances of their origin seems to be more interesting in the sense that who the previous owner was instead of where their actual source in magic and whatnot is, because I'm more interested in the social standing, as it were, baby. I'd be interested to know if one could expect the book's contents to be of significance to somebody high and mighty in the in the um, uh, metropolitan areas of the world, if you know what I mean, baby. We could have a lot of sway. We could get a lot of allies. We could get a lot of good graces from somebody if they got their hands on what they've lost. If if the deceased had any markings on him about perhaps a racial background or a social standing on how maybe if they had uh, more jewelry, maybe if the skeleton belonged to that of an elven or a gnomish persuasion, baby, anything like that, anything you can tell me.
Nope.
Shit. Well, that's all, baby.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe we should give the book back to its owner. Isn't that right, Ruler?
Yeah, gives it, and I will make sure that it gets back to the proper authorities.
I sure it will.
And while Wheeler's saying that, you see Chester kind of
Yeah.
winking.
God, please just tell me that he says wink while he does it as well. That would be
No, he's just
no.
winking.
Ah, it's so unsubtle. Just wink. Yeah.
Well, no further ahead with that then, I suppose.
So Ellie has the book.
Yeah. She took it back.
Okay. Where do you have it?
She's stuffing it back into the bag.
What bag?
Her backpack
Okay.
that Chester did not agree to take.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about the books, just its appearance, even though my history and arcana rolls weren't that great? Does the book look fancy or does
Yeah.
it look scrappy?
No,
Fancy.
it looks fancy. It looks beautifully decorated and ornated, and there are actually a couple of precious stones placed in it. So
Is it like very symmetrical and neat, or is it more chaotic?
It's more chaotic than symmetrical and neat,
Okay.
at least to your eyes.
Okay.
And if you had to put money on it, I don't know if Barry's a betting man, but you would probably guess that it's at least connected to somebody that knows magic. You wouldn't gradually like, oh yeah, it's a full-blown wizard, but there's definitely somebody who has learned the arcane styles, well, to some level.
Can I make like an investigation roll or something, even though the book has already been taken back? Just like figure it out in my mind. Does it look like it's done by it's chaotic because of probable like hints into its contents, or is it chaotic because it's done by an amateur or maybe even a child? Or
Roll your investigation.
Sorry, just while he's on that, it had a similar style to the bracelet and tiara, wasn't that right? Yeah.
rolled 8.
An 8.
Yes.
And all of the above plus a couple of extra.
Yeah, it's
It
the
could be
cold
anything.
wind and
Yeah.
the bumpy road and all that. It's got me befuddled.
Yeah. As you're kind of looking at all of this, and you kind of look at Ellie, kind of try to think like, what could it be? I actually have no real idea of what order you guys are sitting on the sled, but I'm kind of picturing you kind of on the left side and Ellie sitting next to you.
Yeah, she would have moved up close for the.
Besides you, Cal, and to the right, Wheeler. So kind of in that order from left to right. If that's wrong, let me know.
Nah, it's not that.
Huh?
No, that works.
That's
That works.
that's where I pictured Wheeler sort of like to the edge with his
Yeah.
Chester.
Okay. Then Barry, please roll your perception.
Okay.
And Ellie, you can roll it as well.
Sweet.
11 again.
Do
11.
I have a nice dice? Let's try this dice. It's nicer, but
No, wait. Actually, that's 12. So
Well, okay.
what did we say? Investigation?
No,
perception.
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 That's better. 12.
12. Okay. Wheeler, you can also roll your perception now. I'll give you advantage of it.
Oh, cool. That was good because the first roll was a 2. Perception 3, 18.
18. Okay. As you're kind of sitting there, do you have luggage kind of facing towards you, or is he facing outwards?
I had it that he was facing towards me.
Towards you. Okay. As I don't know, are you chatting with him, or what are you doing? Are you just kind of? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you're kind of chatting, and as you're chatting, you notice that his speech becomes slightly slurred. And as you're kind of looking at him, you're like, what's going on? You actually see from the corner of his mouth something that wasn't there before, but it's quite in the same color as his wooden chest face is, and it's like really in the corner, and you see, is that like a tongue kind of sneaking out, and you see it kind of going behind Cal, and as you're looking, it has apparently just opened Allie's backpack, and it just is now carefully pulling out the book, and it's kind of carefully pulling it towards him.
Has he noticed? Has the others spotted this?
No, you see them kind of just either talking or just kind of bit like, well,
Elle's probably back to sketching stuff.
sketching, and I don't know. What are you doing, Cal?
Oh, well, I was going to say there, could I sort of make a roll, because what Cal was saying earlier on about the book might be connected to the items. Can he make a roll to sort of make sure in his head that did they connect? Did they look similar?
Roll your investigate or history. I would also even allow you to roll survival, but then the difficulty is higher.
I'll probably go for survival anyway.
All right.
Oh, we got, it's not great. It's only 11.
Only an 11. No, that's not good enough. Now, you kind of look at it and nah.
Yeah.
So Wheeler, you will have noticed from the corner of your eye this book just like slowly moving closer to Chester.
Well, I think it's time for a distraction. He's going to move himself in the cart and go towards the others, and he'll he's just going to go towards the others and like have his back to the like sort of so that he's, if he can, stand in between them and the book as much as possible. Just trying to.
It's all happening behind their backs.
Oh, it's all behind. Oh,
Yeah, because Ellie has like a backpack on, so
Yeah.
it's happening behind. So his tongue is kind of moved because he's kind of facing you, and you're all sitting in a row, and
Yeah.
and his tongue is kind of went to your side behind Cal, and then
Okay.
behind Ellie, and
Okay. In which case, he's going to position himself so that because I'm assuming if the tongue came to me, it's probably crossing the gap between us.
it's went back between you and Cal.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? In that case, no, he's fine. He's just gonna let it happen.
All right. Cal, roll your perception with disadvantage.
Okay. 8.
8. Okay. Wheeler, you'll be the only one that sees actually the side of Chester's mouth kind of open, and this book just slides in.
He's going to ask him quietly, not judging, don't care. What was that about?
He looks kind of like you see his eyes kind of darting left and right. And he's like, "You want it to work, right?"
Yeah.
Cal, you can again roll your, because you're like, what? Where they were first like openly chatting with each other, they're now kind of like being very distrustful. So roll your perception again.
Who's this? Is this just Cal?
Yeah, Cal. Yeah, sorry.
Do you want me to roll a disadvantage or?
No, that's fine. You're like,
Okay.
because Chester is like. He's not being very subtle about it. As subtle as his tongue was, his words are not as.
Yeah, it's a 17 that time.
A 17. You hear like book, right? That's the last part of the thing you hear.
What book?
Book.
I heard book.
Book?
Your book?
Talking about a book for.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about, because we thought it might look like these, and he'll sort of point to the bracelet and the tiara. He'll be like, yeah, it was fine with these. He was asking me about it.
Yeah. Well, didn't we already discuss that when we found them?
Yeah, it's a good idea. I was thinking about that myself. They look very, very similar together. Maybe we should check that out.
Ah, you fucker.
Well, I mean, we did look at it, but I can bring out the book again if you want to look at it.
Yeah, they look very similar. I thought they might have been part of the same set, like I was saying earlier on.
Yeah, but we already talked about that today, and I was just bringing Chester up to speed because he wasn't there for that bit. He wasn't paying attention. He was too busy looking about things that he could.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, he wasn't born then. Yeah.
Well, do you want to see? I mean, a visual description is better than an oral description. And I'm
No,
gonna
my
trust what
sight
these guys
isn't
says
really good.
anyway.
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
Not to mention.
Well-
What about you, Barry? Would it help tell if the book and the bracelet and everything's all part of the same thing?
Absolutely, baby.
So we're nearly there yet, and they'll go to ice. Like, ice, baby. Hey, we're nearly there.
What?
Are we nearly there?
Almost.
Yeah, we're almost there, guys. Gather your stuff up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's.
Ellie's gonna
come
stand
on,
up
Eddie,
in the seat to try to
Yes.
look like. What does it look like?
Wheeler will lift his bag, and then he'll grab Ellie's bag, and he'll be like, "Here, I'll put that in Chester for you. I was only joking earlier. Here, Chester, open wide," and he'll just sort
You
of.
see like the tongue just
Yeah.
and it's gone.
Could Cal make an insight?
Yeah, sure.
I was gonna. Can Ellie make an insight because Wheeler's actually being nice for once?
Sure.
Can I roll anything against this?
You can roll your deception.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, Please roll a one.
27.
Ah, you fucker.
I rolled a 5.
I got a 21 too.
Yeah, expertise. What is it they call that? Skill monkey? Is that that?
Yeah.
All right, what did you roll?
Say again?
What did you roll?
27.
27. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
he
rolled
seems up and
5.
up. Yeah, you know. Well, Wheeler's such a nice guy.
Aw,
You really
thank
give
you,
him too much
Wheeler.
trouble. He's such a nice guy.
She's gonna hug him because he's actually being nice.
Wheeler's going to check his pockets out of habit after the hug's done.
Oh, come on, you're the thief, not me.
Yeah, and we're related. He's going to pat down his pockets.
Yeah, but not by blood.
He
Exactly.
kinda,
I would steal from you.
Ice stops, and he stops at what looks like a cave opening. Quite a decent size cave opening. You would say about 4 meters high and about 6 or so meters wide. And he kind of stops and says, "We are here."
Okay.
Right.
This cave, it'll lead you into the land that we do not go.
Ellie's gonna double check her sketches of the map and like see if she can find the cave.
Roll your history, I would think, or survival also could be.
Well, that would be the history one, so that's 12.
12.
Retiring that dice as well.
Yeah. Well, you see everybody kind of like making ready, so you can't really take your time to go through all your sketches. So no, you don't really see it right now.
She's gonna stuff the book in with all her like under her
Wait,
mantles
and where do you
stuff.
keep your sketches?
The sketches is in the book, and she normally would
What
have put
book?
it back. The one she got from Varin.
Oh, okay, right.
That book. She would have put the map in there. She's gonna need.
Okay,
a new
because
book
if
soon.
it's in your backpack
Yeah.
isn't just.
No, she would have not put it back in the backpack yet. She would have kept it out for sketching, as they still
Okay,
had ways to go.
all right. Okay.
So she would still have held it in her hands, which is also why she was way too busy to even consider looking at Chester. Anyway, so she will like stuff it in a pocket that she has. She would have pockets.
Yeah, okay.
And make sure Fluffles
So-
is okay.
Yeah, Fluffles is fine. He's just glad that he's in a comfortable, warm spot, as warm as could possibly or can be in here anyway.
Yes.
So the giant kind of picks everybody up and places you out of the sled. You could probably quite easily get off the sled yourselves, but he's being polite. It's like it's a decent drop from where you sit to the ground. So he's just carefully lifting you guys up and putting you on the ground.
Thank you.
Will you be all right?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
I think so.
I don't say the same for you. You've got to run the whole way back in.
It's fine. It's fine.
Will you be fine?
Good exercise.
That's probably true.
All right. He says something in giant. You, Barry, will of course understand it. It means, may you be successful on your journey. And he bows and says, "Good luck."
Take luck and care, baby.
As he kind of turns the sled and starts to leave. And you guys are standing there in snow, and I think Cal is the only one that is actually medium size. Everybody else is small. So
Suppose we might as well get on, and everybody's like just above the snow.
the snow is like, for most of you, it's like this high, if not higher.
I was going to say, for Wheeler, like all you can see is just him holding the chest above his head. it's just right.
Yeah, Barry is also pretty overweight, so he'd be sinking through the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, Ellie's probably the lightest right now because, well, she's among the smaller ones. She is definitely among the lighter ones because she's not actually wearing a backpack.
There you go.
But I guess she also sinks through the snow.
Yeah. Everybody sinks into the snow. The snow is not very sturdy, but you guys are capable of making your way towards the cave.
Mhm.
And the cave looks like more like a passage than an actual cave. So when you kind of look into it, I believe everybody except Wheeler has dark vision. So you look into it and you don't see the end. It goes on into the mountains.
Deep cave.
Big cave diving.
And
Deep back passage, baby.
and you'll notice that everybody that has any survival will know that okay, you've traveled for 5 hours, um, and the sun goes down relatively quickly here, so you'll still have a couple of hours of sun, but definitely not like, yeah, let's undergo a big passage. But then again, in the cave it'll be dark anyways.
We best go in quick because the sun
Yeah.
don't stay up too long, and we need to be in cover from the wind.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
gets quite cold at night, baby. Believe me.
Yeah, and if we make this real quickly, maybe we should look what we can see, if we can see any good shelter. Otherwise, we might need to stay in the cave for the night. Right?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, we've only got about a couple of hours, I'd say.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right, so
Yes.
you
Cal will wait till he gets into the cave a bit before he sparks up a torch.
sorry, you do what?
Cal will wait till he gets into the cave a bit before he sparks up a torch.
Okay, yeah, because it's quite windy here, so you go into the cave. In the beginning, Wheeler, you have no problem because there's a lot of light coming from outside. Also, the snow is reflecting a lot of light, and there's still some snow in the cave. But after a while, you'll notice that the influence from outside become less and less. And I would, sorry, yeah.
No, I was just thinking. I think Barry might be. Well, Barry will actually mention it, so feel free to continue on with the description thing.
Yeah.
So,
the cave itself, the sides, the walls seem quite rough, but from the shape of it and the continuous, quite similar size, you would think that this is not a natural formed cave. This is probably has been created by someone or something, but from the looks of it, it's been a long time ago, and yeah.
does it look like it's been mined by hand or borrowed?
More mined by hand.
All right. While Barry's looking over his surroundings, he'll be whispering to his companions, "Look here, y'all. These tunnels, they're not familiar to me. There's no knowing what kind of creature could be lurking in these depths, since it's much more cozy to be in these tunnels than out there in the snow. So I was thinking I could possibly check out if there's any animals within 5 miles. Might make things a bit safer."
Good question, actually. What's the size of this tunnel?
It's about, in the beginning, it's about 4 meters high and about 6 meters wide, and it the ceiling starts to become a little bit lower. You would say about 2.5 meters high, and about 4 meters broad. So still considerable roomy.
Would an ice giant fit in there?
No.
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 No, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was kind of checking there. So
Yeah, no,
You'll turn to
definitely.
Barry and go, "Yeah, it's a pretty good question. Obviously nothing as big as a giant, But yeah, critters nonetheless.
Mm. The way my magic works sometimes, they can pick up something that's inconspicuous. Maybe there's just a little, I don't know, bunny there, and it picks up on that. But if there's something bigger, at least we'd be more
Yeah,
prepared.
Yeah, well,
that could be
two
a good
eyes.
idea.
All
Two
right.
eyes are better than one, so
Yeah.
I'll use my magic to see if there's any creatures here too.
All right, let's do this. And I'll start like weaving with my hands, doing like the kind of um, tailoring kind of signs there. And I will do locate animals or plants, and it closest within 5 miles should be located. If there's like, I'm expecting like that animals includes like big beasts and stuff like that. Um,
Can you look at the spell? What it does?
oh,
Oh, I can look it up if.
Oh, okay. My note just said that closest within 5 miles located.
mm,
You have to choose a type of animal.
Locate animal or plants. There we go. Describe or name a specific kind of beast or plant. Concentrate on the voice of nature. If you're in your surroundings, you learn the direction and the distance of the closest creature or plant of that kind in 5 miles. So
Carnivore.
carnivore. A specific kind of beast or plant.
It's a kind. I don't know.
What does it
Uh,
mean by specific, though? Do you have
Yeah.
to state like the name, like a deer, or
That's
You have to
that's the
spe-
question.
Yeah.
Would carnivore be a class, or I would say officially it would probably be like, okay, are there any are there any deer indeed in this surrounding, and then it
Yeah.
would kind of pop up.
would you
Yeah.
maybe make Barry make a roll to see if he knows? He's been around this place. He knows what sort of things maybe to look for.
Yeah, maybe if there's like the only dangerous beasts that are around are like, I don't know, Siberian tigers or something like that. If I would know.
Roll your
something like-
history if you or survival if you know of any animals that stalk this place that might.
Well, my
be
history
dangerous.
is higher, so let's see if I'll roll my first good die roll of the session. 10, so that's 16.
16. There are a couple of dangerous animals here in these areas. There's, surprisingly enough, you know of quite a broad specter of animals that are present here in this cold area. A couple of the most dangerous ones are bears. But some of them hibernate, some of them, however, don't. And there are some big cats that might be of danger here. And you also know, especially now that you're kind of entering a cave, you also know of a giant spider type creature that likes to hunt in these areas.
I'm gonna go with the spider, just
Alright.
because. Well, I think bears and cats, or any like of those types, I think that might be something that even outsiders to these lands could deal with more or less. But if it's like a specific monstrous spider, that might be easily something none of us have ever faced. So I'm gonna roll the dice, as it were, with the frost
Alright.
spider, because that's what I'm most scared of.
Excellent.
Plan for the worst.
Yeah.
You
So that's
you cast your magical spell and locate, or you specifically look for spiders.
yeah, within
And
5 miles.
There's this, and it just goes out in each direction, and very quickly on, you indeed pick up spiders, and not just one. You'll notice that there is what does the spell Does it give you any indication?
It's the closest one, isn't it?
You learn the direction. Yeah. So yeah, you'll notice 4.
How small?
It doesn't really state that you know of the.
But if I was looking for that specific one, and I know it's big, then if I did locate that, then they must be like baby spiders or something. That's at least Barry's like what he thinks of it. If any of my compatriots are within reach, I'll like immediately raise my hands like in front of them to like stop
I would
them
say
from
that they're probably kind of waiting for you to cast this spell, so they're kind of around you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
I'll immediately just because I was like concentrated, I'll immediately make sure that if there was somebody right next to me, I'd at least have the chance to stop them. I'll be like, hold on a minute, y'all. I just picked up something. Only a very short distance away, there are tiny baby spiders. And I'm not talking about regular old spider babies. No, I'm talking about babies of a ginormous variety, something that would go scurry around in tunnels of this size, something that I've heard of, something I've studied about. It's called something like
Ice spiders.
ice spiders. They dwell within these kinds of burrows in the snow fields, and this the babies are the size of what were they? Something like this. But I was specifically aiming my magic for these big ones, and these were just the first ones within the radius of my power. So, if there's small ones, there's gotta be a mama somewhere. There's gonna be a big ass mama somewhere. And if this tunnel just leads straight on one way, we're gonna run into Big Mama.
Well, spiders don't like fire, I so just like most creatures.
Well, if you're confident in that, then by all means. But there's some scary sons of bitches.
Sorry, just I was with Chester there. Did someone say big spiders?
Oh yes, sir.
I'm good. Bowie. Did big spiders?
Oh yes, indeed. I just happened to discover the babies of a giant ass spider.
Nope. Wheeler works out, grabs Chester, and is like, "No, we're leaving." Big spiders, yeah. Wee spiders are. Yeah. He said baby spiders, and he said that they were big baby spiders. So the mama spider must be huge. Look at the size that he's holding his hands up there. That's a big baby. That is the size of me when I was born, and I mean spiders grow big. Exactly, so they're big.
What?
What about the ma?
You gotta understand. No, see, Wheeler, baby. What you gotta understand is that there's no way out no more. We can't go out the way we came because the night will freeze us to death. There's only one way. We must dwell into the depths, baby.
Sorry to interrupt, but while this conversation is going on, because I know those two always nag, Cal is going to go ahead and try and confirm this with his own magic of doing a chicken dance, smelling the ground, tasting the dust, putting his ear to the ground. Yeah. the good old survival. What has passed through here recently, and what sort of creatures am I to expect? Should I roll survival?
Yeah. Are you using magic or are you just
No,
using
I'm
your
just
survival
using
skill?
survival. I'm just
All
making
right,
it
there
look
you
like
go.
magic.
Yeah. Okay, no, just checking. Yeah, roll your survival.
Oh, that's not entirely great. That's a 7.
A 7.
Not my territory.
Yeah. The hard thing about spiders is they can walk on the wall or on the ceiling or to the side. So you have a hard time making out where tracks of these creatures would be. And there's been apparently a bit more snow than usual because there's a lot of snow in the inside of the cave as well.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk back, nodding his head.
Yeah, Wheeler's going to be like, no. He's going to put down Chester. He's like, can I get in?
Huh? Ah.
He gets in. He starts climbing, and he's like, right, Cal, let me know when we're at the end. Knock twice, and he closes the lid.
You close the lid, and you fall. And you're like, as you're kind of like,
So you got some d6s on you, have you?
Yeah, okay.
you can't breathe.
Uh,
I would say Ellie would probably kick in.
yeah, he's going to try and get out.
Ooh, that was interesting.
You could have told me there's no air in there. He's just going to like roll onto his side.
I've never been in me.
It's interesting. My God, that was trippy.
Want to go again? You see his tongue kind of coming towards you.
He's like, kinda, but no. Yeah.
Oh.
But just be ready. If we see a big spider, I'm going in. I'd rather suffocate. Jesus.
Since Barry knew about the spider, does he know about the details? Like, does it make webs? Does it have venom? Does it
Roll your nature.
Can Cal help him with this?
Sure. You can either give him advantage or roll yourself.
I will give him advantage.
Okay. Hey, just a reminder, do I have to can I roll both and decide on what I want with advantage, or do I have to like abandon the first roll and do the second roll?
You always take the highest one.
Okay, good. 13. Ooh, 19. 19 plus 4, so 23.
19 plus 4. All right. You know that these spiders grow quite large. They have they can produce webbing, but they don't very often do so. There's no real need for them to do so. In snow and ice, they are very camouflaged, so you have a very hard time seeing them. They use this to stalk their prey and kind of attack them. They have a sense of tremor sense. So they are aware of footsteps in their surroundings. They don't need webbing to see it. Their paws have like very thin points, sharp kind of daggers almost, which they can climb on ceilings and walls and stuff. But as they're planted in them, they they can sense things moving around. You believe that this sense is not 100% accurate, but it definitely gives them an idea if prey is near. The thing is, their eyes, and Weir is going to love this probably, are red. So, and they give off a little luminescence, and so they're kind of glowy. So they frequently have their eyes closed, especially if they're like in stalk mode, and they kind of wait for the prey to come close, and then they just open their eyes to see where it is, and then they kind of jump on it. So usually when you see their eyes, it's probably about just a moment before they jump on you.
Okay. What about venom?
Yeah, they have quite an aggressive form of venom, which they inject with a bite, and it creates um, um, almost it's not the same as freezing, but the effect is quite similar. It's like your muscles just tense up, and it's like you become freeze. The spot also becomes blue first, and then it becomes blackish as if it stays on too long.
Like frostbitten, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I know if it like paralyzes victims to chew on them later in its lair, or does it usually like kill its prey immediately?
It depends. Seeing as you found what you believe to be smaller ones, babies or younglings, you would think that's a fair assumption that it would paralyze its prey and then bring it back. However, these creatures are quite fierce. If they have the feeling that they're being attacked, they won't hesitate on actually killing their prey and then bringing it back. They prefer live meat, but they can also eat recently deceased meat.
Okay. I'll basically relay all of this information with the word "bebe" attached to every now and again.
All right.
Does not help Wheeler's fears.
By the time we do, it's too late.
By the time we do, it's too late. At this point, Wheeler's like looking back to Chester, looking at the tunnel, back to Chester. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad, and
Well, if it's any relief, I do have the power to summon a protective dome around us. I use it for sleeping when I go in the bush, but it's also something that protects us from enemies nearby, even though the enemies can just wait it out until the dome disappears after about 8 hours. So at least it's something. Like
You should note, and this of course you know, Barry, it takes a while for you to cast this spell.
oh, what was that?
I think it takes like a minute for you to cast a spell.
Oh, I haven't written it down there. Oh, okay. So just to mention it, if we do wind up getting ourselves into trouble and we manage to run away for something or something, I can provide a safe haven for us to lick our wounds and get back into fighting shape.
None of this sounds good. Yeah, warm bed, lots of money. Those sound like great things. Do you know what doesn't sound great? That's not. I shouldn't have left the farm. I'd rather come back alive. I don't think so. Gee, I'm going to think about all the spider bites I could get if we keep going through. Yeah, we're not fighting the dragon. We've been over this. We're looking at it. We can, but that's dragons are big, easy to see. Yeah, but we're not dealing with dragons right now. We're dealing with 8-legged spider things with glowing, luminescent eyes, venom that makes you cold. Yeah, see, I like living in the now, and right now there's a cave full of spiders.
Right. To put this at ease,
We
we're not here to kill these things. We're trying to get past them. So if we're bringing as sneaky as possible, hopefully we don't even need to fight them.
Good point.
And guess what you're good at, William?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good at sneaking, and I'm going to do that. But Cal, you're going to need to hold the torch because I can't see shit. But I'm going to, yeah. And he pulls his hood up and tries to hide and grabs Chester and tries to get Chester under the cloak as well. He's like, right, let's go.
Chester won't fit under the cloak.
Yeah, no, but he's like I don't know what would be the way of. I'm trying to think of it like whenever you grab something, you throw like a blanket around it whenever it's not really, but you're like hugging it almost.
Yeah.
And so he's like done that.
Mr. Wheeler, sir, I also have the power to turn myself invisible, and also if I happen to be touching the shoulder of a fellow man, I can turn them invisible with me as well. So I can make you a pledge that if you manage to get through the tunnel, I'll keep my hand at reach distance from you, and if it gets ugly, I'll turn us both invisible.
Right. That's good. You
Fine,
stick with
deal.
Barry then, and he'll guide you through.
What about me?
Well, you're screwed, brother.
Yeah, it's fine. All you need to do is eat them first. He can eat them. There's no air in there. Chester, you see a big spider, you eat the shit out of it.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Elf Master, you wouldn't happen to have any experience with arachnids of this variety?
Should I make a roll or should I just?
What would you want to roll for?
I suppose this would be a knowledge of prior. So, what, like intelligence or history, or
Yeah, sure. But what do you want to recall? Because Barry's information was already pretty thorough.
No, if I have encountered or fought spiders.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and even though I phrased it like that, I guess what I was more after is that if you have any special abilities or anything like that to help us.
Well, he's gonna recall anyway, so. Will I just roll?
Yeah, roll your history.
History. Yeah. That's going to be a 12.
All right. You fought one big spider in your history, but not one of these cold variants.
I will relay that to Barry, and then add. Well, I don't have anything per se against them. I do know that most creatures don't like fire, so I suppose we could use that more. But in most cases, I think if we stay hidden and don't use light sources, it probably won't see us very well.
you happen to have anything to help us with that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's splendid.
Stealthy's most of the group's pretty strong sense.
That's a relief to hear.
After hearing that, he's actually going to snuff the torch, and hopefully that Wheeler can stay with Barry. And he's going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually hold my hand on his shoulder, just as also because he doesn't have he can't see in the dark, so I'll also be guiding him by holding him by the shoulder.
On Wheeler's shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. And I suppose you guys start moving onwards.
Yeah.
Very well. You move deeper into the cave. And it's dark. Wheeler, it's uncomfortably dark for you, especially with the words of Barry ringing in your ears, like, when you see the red lights, it's too late. You're like, I see nothing. It'll be the last thing I see, like these red lights just like... All right. So I'm assuming you guys all move stealthily.
As a group, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody roll your stealth, and of course add 10 for the pass without a trace. Wheeler, you would have gotten disadvantage on this roll because you see nothing. You don't really know where you're going to place your feet and stuff.
Yeah.
But because of the elven cloak, you'll get a straight roll.
Cool.
I rolled a natural 1.
Oh dear.
Yes, I did.
Cool. Did you say add 10?
Yeah.
Add 10 stealth. I've got you beat. That's 20, 30, 40. I rolled a 19.
40? Jesus. It's a 31 for Cal.
All right. Okay.
Fuck me.
Barry, you are too concerned probably with how Wheeler is doing, and almost giving him too many hints, like careful, you forget it, and kind of
It's
trying
gonna
to
be
steer
fine,
him.
baby. It's gonna be fine, baby.
Yeah. So you're not as quiet as you want to be, but seeing as the group is doing great as a total. You guys manage a pretty good average stealth roll. So you guys move onwards, and the longer you move into the tunnel, the more uncomfortable you become, Wheeler. You would think that your eyes would kind of adjust to this darkness, but there's no light. So it remains complete darkness the deeper you get into the cave, and especially kind of getting this sense that your friends around you are all quite comfortable with this complete darkness, and you're the only one that is kind of like...
Yeah.
You move onwards, and who is taking lead?
Cal, probably.
Cal. Okay.
Yeah, and we would be in the rear because of Wheeler
Alright.
and everything.
Yeah. Wheeler will be in front of Barry though, because he doesn't want to be last, because that's to get you.
Yeah. So you're walking there, kind of carrying Chester in your hands.
Yeah, but I still have that.
Yeah. My hand just hovering. Yeah.
Yeah. Cal, you will move onwards, and the tunnel kind of leads through. You have the feeling that like there's a small how do you say that? It's slowly
Incline?
going up.
Incline?
Yeah, that's it. There's a slight incline to the path that you're walking, but you're not 100% sure. But you have a pretty good feeling about it. and the tunnel remains quite unchanged for about half an hour or so. After about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, you see something in the distance that you're not a great fan of. The tunnel was just as it was when you pretty much entered. It varied slightly from height, width, stuff like that, but nothing concerning. Now, however, you see in the distance smaller tunnels coming into the main one.
So it separates.
No, the tunnel itself remains. It's just that smaller tunnels, smaller openings come into this tunnel.
Ah, I see.
So where you were pretty sure that there was only something that would have come out from outside would be able to come behind you, now there are openings to left and right. And it's not like there are hundreds of openings. There are just, you see an opening left, a little bit further, you see an opening right. What you also notice is that not all of them, most of them, come in at the level of where the ground is that you're walking. Some, however, also come in from like into the ceiling, to the side of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them come in from where the ground is equal.
Cal will sort of like, he'll sort of slow down. So he's going to pace with Ellie, and to not sort of like say it out or break scene to Wheeler, he's going to point to Ellie and, do the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she will look up and be like,
Yeah, there's nothing coming directly from the ceiling.
no.
Most openings are a bit either coming from this to the side a bit, but those are only, from where you can see, there are only two that do this. There are three that come in from onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie is gonna motion back to him like, okay, I saw you. I see what you see. And then she's gonna go like point at him, eyes, point at the wall, like, and then point at herself, eyes, at that side. Like, you keep watch of that side, I will keep watch of this side, and then like, and like, don't forget to look up as well, because she's basically going in her mind, if I were a spider and I wanted to bite people sneakily, where would I sit? Above them. People don't look up.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That's
like that
precisely what.
sneaky elf.
Yeah, that's precisely what he was trying to get her
Yeah.
to do anyway, so that we can sort of cover more as we move.
All right.
Yeah. So she's gonna keep a careful eye on the, well, rifle then.
All right.
Very
Barry, you will probably start noticing this as well as they start moving again.
And she's just gonna, well, actually, Ellie will probably actually do this. Turn around to Barry. Thumbs up! And then
just
keep
be-
walking.
But yeah, does Barry automatically notice them, or do I?
Yeah, you are. No, they're you could not miss them.
Okay.
With dark vision, you see them.
Okay, I'll try in my best not to make any suggestions with body language.
Wheeler, roll your insight with disadvantage.
Insight with disadvantage, okay.
Like,
14.
14. You were already quite uncomfortable. It seems like there's just like this little bit of extra where your stomach is going like, something's not right.
He's gonna be like walking, he'll be like, Chester, do you see shit? I don't see shit.
Yeah, of course, I see everything.
What's going on?
They're signaling each other, and They probably don't want you to know that there are holes from to the left and the right.
There's what?
Shh.
Barry is going to use this opportunity to cast calm emotions on Wheeler. He's going to, like, I was waiting if his tension level rises, and he's basically, as he's already holding him by the shoulder, he'll just like bring his hand on top of his mouth and just shush, brother, shush, baby, it'll be okay.
All right. What does calm emotions do?
You can either calm I think it's the emotions of a whole group generally, or you can target one specific person.
Basically, it can like pacify an aggressive person coming at you, but I'm just suspecting that in this kind of general sense that it can make someone who's freaking out also calm.
Yeah, it kind of can.
It's like a really light charm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see. It says exactly. Alternatively, you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice that it is hostile toward.
Interesting.
It also says you attempt.
Is Wheeler hostile towards ice spiders? I can make him indifferent about ice spiders.
Make him love them.
I'm burning a spell slot for this, so.
Yeah.
You can also end the effect of charmed and frightened, but
Yeah. I think you get to roll if you want, Wheeler. You don't need to roll it, but you can if you want to. A charisma saving throw.
Yeah, you don't want me to calm your emotions.
I mean, he's freaking out, so he'll probably be fighting anything. So,
Curses.
yeah, that's. I've not done a saving throw in ages. Where's my saving throws?
What
Oh,
are
there it
saving
is.
throws?
There it is. I'm sorry.
no.
That's a natural 20.
Oh Jesus.
All right. Well, the spell doesn't take effect.
Hold on, sorry. I'm going to take a picture of that. Just no, I'm not bullshitting here.
No, I trust you.
There you go.
Is this going to be one of these worst times to roll a natural 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. This is for fuck's sake.
Well, when you have like a pimp-looking gnome shoving his finger in your face when you're like about to
Shush,
freak out,
baby.
it just maybe adds to the freaking out of it. But,
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I still have the invisibility already.
What do you do, man?
You ever seen the Simpsons episode where it's like the parody of The Shining, and it's like Homer's like, all work and no play makes Homer something, and Marge is like, go crazy, and he's like, don't mind if I do, and then goes pocket. That's basically, he's gonna freak the fuck out. Like whenever he said that does he feel the magic trying to take hold and then being able to shake it off, or does he have no?
You'll realize that Barry is trying to send magical energy into you.
Yeah. So he's going to be like, what was it? Chester said that there's tunnels, and then he said, oh yeah, he's like, what? There's tunnels? What? And then whatever, Barry's just like, what are you doing? What's going on?
Well, when Barry notices nothing is happening, he'll just try to shove it.
Yeah.
like his hand on his. Hush now, baby. No more screaming.
Chester, pull me in.
It's all right, baby. It's all right.
I'm sure after a bit of mumbling, grumbling, he'll not necessarily calm down, but he will speak in a whisper, and he'll sort of move Barry's hand away and be like, what do you mean there's tunnels?
Well, there may be a tunnel or two, baby, but then again,
Tunnel or two. Chester, how many are there?
5.
There's 5.
well, tunnel or two. That's just the phrase that gets tossed around, baby.
I don't care what you toss around in your own time. I need specifics. I need to know whether there's 1 tunnel or 2 tunnels or 5 tunnels. Because if you're lying about a tunnel, you might lie about a spider. And if I need to know whether there's 1 spider, 2 spiders, or many spiders.
Oh, I'm just looking after your well-being, baby.
Then tell me what's going on.
Wheeler,
I reckon I should not.
Wheeler, there is no spiders,
Chester.
just the tunnels.
I don't see any.
Okay.
Except that one over there.
What?
We're trying to stay quiet, so there is
What
no
one of
spiders.
he just said that there was a spider. Where? And he'll
Yeah.
start.
A teeny whiny tiny one over there.
Teeny. Okay.
Cal looks at it. What size is it?
It's like this.
Yeah, it's barely even a house spider, Chester.
Okay, Chester, we're looking for bigger spiders, like and he'll sort of like.
I was just being specific, geez.
Yes, yeah, no, I appreciate that, but big ones. If there's big ones, let me know, right?
All right.
And he'll pick Chester back up and be like, right there. Whenever he's all done freaking out, shall we carry on?
You see visibly Cal just like a massive sigh.
Wheeler doesn't see shit.
It's just like a.
Ellie is kind of doing that as well because she's also thinking, "Oh my god, since when did he get this scared?" Fucking coward.
Spiders, man, they have too many legs. Nothing on Earth needs that many legs.
Yeah, if Tarako was here, he could choke you out. Just
Quiet. It's okay. Go to sleep. Yeah.
I can like pull out my shillelagh.
Yeah, pop me right there. Yeah.
No fears, only dreams. Shh.
Yeah. Shh. It's not a chokehold. It's a struggle snuggle.
Right.
All right.
Can
So
we continue?
Yes.
you guys continue onwards.
Mhm.
And what happens next? We will continue on in our next session.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun,
Bum, bum,
dun,
bum,
dun,
bum.
dun.
We find Boomer and the donkey in the spider
Exactly.
slayer.
All the spiders are dead, and he's just like, mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that Boomer will be able to join us next session. So I'm calling it quits here, and it'll give people in different time zones time to relax and grade some papers and stuff.
Or
Yeah.
just go to bed.
Or just go to bed. Yeah, also.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for playing
Yeah.
and for watching or listening or whatever. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.